In our ports and in our airports, the UK Border Agency is fighting a constant battle against smugglers.
I'm arresting you. Oh, dear me.
Coming up, will a full body scan in Gatwick prove that one man's excuses are a little hard to swallow?
You just get feelings with some things.
On a flight from Spain, a couple bring back more than a suntan.
What's the name, mate? It's Canada still, isn't it?
And quick-fire questioning proves to be the downfall of this hapless smuggler.
Did you book your own ticket? Yeah. When did you book it?
Friday.
All right, how much did it cost you?
You
didn't book it, did you?
Gatwick Airport's South Terminal. A flight from Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic has just landed. Vigilant UK Border Agency officers, with the aid of highly trained sniffer dogs, are always on the lookout for drug smugglers from the Caribbean. And one passenger has triggered great interest. The man's nervous behaviour has led to him being targeted. As he passes through the customs channels, Officer Michelle has been observing his body language.
Thank you.
She decides to intercept the passenger to ask him a few questions.
Hello, sir. Have you got your passport on you, please? That's great. Have you got your ticket as well? Any ticket? And where do you live, sir? In Holland? So how long are you here for? How long are you here in England for?
No, today I'm going to Holland.
Right, so you've been to Puerto Plata, come here, and from here you're going back to Holland, are you? When? When are you going back to Holland? Is it a flight from here or a flight from Heathrow?
From here.
All right, have you got the ticket for that?
Michelle keeps firing questions to find out if he's telling the truth.
No cigarettes at all, nothing like that. Okay, you also know it's illegal to bring any controlled drugs, weapons, explosives, etc. into the country, yeah? And these are your bags, are they? Did you pack your bags yourself? So you know what's inside them, do you?
The man's travel plans just don't seem right, and Michelle is becoming increasingly suspicious.
Just been out on a package holiday. Not staying with friends or anything, went out on his own. He works in a factory in the Netherlands. He's flying on back today. They're all right, aren't they?
The X-ray shows no concealments of drugs, but a concerned Michelle still isn't happy.
Sometimes we have a problem with people bringing drugs through on their bodies, okay? So therefore we just want to give you a rub down of your body, okay? But we won't do it here, we'll do it out the back, okay?
As the man's led away, there's a feeling his story just doesn't add up.
He only works in a factory in Holland, so it's obviously not really well paid. He's picked to go to Puerto Plata, which is an unusual place for someone to go. He's gone on his own, and he's booked it all last minute. He's got all the extras you can possibly have. So it makes his holiday very expensive just for 7 nights and to go on his own. It's just bizarre, that's all. You just get feelings with some things, and it's just doesn't seem right.
In a dramatic turn, the man is taken for a full body scan to find out if he's smuggling drugs inside his body.
Do you want anyone else to be here? No?
To be told you're here with us.
You are entitled to read that if you wish, but obviously...
Michelle is about to discover whether her instinct is correct.
The other way, sorry. Yeah, if you stand like this, that way. Yeah?
Yeah.
Go up onto the top, onto travelator. If you can breathe in as well, that will help us.
Ready, breathe in. Try and hold.
As he holds his breath, the man's fate hangs in the balance. His day is about to get a lot worse.
Packages, 100%, 100%.
He's stuffed with packages of drugs.
Okay, sir. From what we can see on the X-ray, looks like you have packages inside you. Time is 08:53 hours. I'm arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the importation of a controlled drug. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something that you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand that? Okay, sir.
He's got little packages which will probably be condoms full of cocaine, and now literally we've got to take him down, get him custodised, and then he needs to concentrate on getting those packages out because he doesn't realise, you know, if one of those burst or leaked, it could cost him his life.
At Gatwick's North Terminal, a flight has just arrived from Dubai, a country outside the European Union with widely available cheap cigarettes. Officers have been alerted by immigration to a man waiting at the luggage carousel. He collects the last of his cases and proceeds straight through the nothing-to-declare customs channel. Officer Paul stops the passenger to ask a few questions.
Hiya. Can I cut word, please? Hi. Are you travelling on your own?
Yeah.
Do you have your passport with you, please? It's just Dubai you've been to, is it?
Yeah, it's just about
What was the reason for your trip?
I was just going to travel.
To Dubai?
Yeah, it's like, it was a nice place.
What do you know about Dubai then? It's just hot. You haven't got a ticket?
No.
How much does the ticket cost you? Did you book your own ticket?
Yeah, I can't remember how much it was.
When did you book it?
Friday.
Right, how much does it cost you then?
Can't remember. I know I
You didn't
booked
book it, did you?
No.
Right, who booked it?
I don't know.
Right, you travelling with somebody else?
No.
Where do you actually live?
Newcastle.
How are you getting back to Newcastle?
Coach.
Coach.
Having already exposed a lie, Paul is wary of anything the man says.
The Green Channel. Do you understand what the Green Channel means?
No.
Right, have you been abroad before?
Just to America.
To?
America.
Okay, when you go abroad, you're allowed to bring back certain goods.
Yeah.
Certain cigarettes, for instance. One bottle of spirit.
Just tell you I've got cards in the bag.
How many have you got?
I'm not sure. That's one and that's one.
And that one?
A little bit in the bottom.
How much do they cost you?
I don't know.
Tabs are slang for cigarettes, and the man's confession doesn't impress.
Have you ever dealings with customs before?
No, not really. Probably one back.
What happened?
I got deported.
Why was that? Sorry?
I took some back across.
You took cat across?
Yeah.
Cat is an East African stimulant which is often chewed. Whilst legal in the UK, it's banned in America.
How much money did you take out with you?
Yeah, just £100, £200.
Who paid for these then?
Oh,
Who paid for these?
no.
Who paid for them then?
Somalians.
Somalians again?
Paul becomes aware that the Somali who paid for the cigarettes is likely to be at the airport to pick them up.
Different ones.
What's the name of the chap that you have to speak to on the phone?
What
What was the last name?
Mohammed.
Mohammed.
Yeah.
He's Somalian. He's going to be. He's out there somewhere, and there's a fair chance there's another one with him because they never ever travel on their own. So he's going to be with. He might have suitcases already.
Cigarette smugglers often work in pairs, and officers realise there may be a chance of locating another smuggler as well as the recipient of the cigarettes.
How much did you get paid for doing this?
£200.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Why did you get a holiday out of it?
What?
You get a holiday out of it?
I need to do.
What do you do?
Nothing. I had a car crash a couple of months ago, and I need to like raise £3,000 excess reinsurance. So it's just in case I make money to work
There you go. So you want benefit?
Yeah.
Back at the airport's South Terminal, the Dutch drug smuggler who risked his life to bring packages of drugs into the UK is being taken into custody. He's made aware of his rights by the custody officer, and for his own safety is told to get the packages out of his system as quickly as possible.
Basically, when people have an internal concealment, to make sure we can see if they produce anything, we change them into what we call a white paper suit, and then we can see if there's anything happening. And underneath, they'll be completely naked.
The man indicates he needs to go to the toilet, but this is no ordinary toilet trip, and this is no ordinary loo.
So he's gone into the special toilet facility where if he starts producing packages, they then have to be cleaned up by the officer who's gone in with him, and then they'll be bagged up as well. So just waiting for him to come out to see if he has actually produced any.
Yeah. The gentleman said he needed the toilet, and while I haven't counted them at the moment, it looks like he's produced around 20 packages and he's told the custody officer he's got 60 something. So obviously the quicker they're out of his system, the best chance he's got of survival, basically.
The process of washing the packages is a very dirty job, but someone's got to do it.
If one of the packages were to split, basically ends up with death within minutes, unfortunately. So that is why we try and get packages out of people as quickly as we possibly can, because the consequences of a burst package are pretty serious.
With the packages washed, Officer Paul must bag them up and weigh them to find out what quantity of drugs the man was carrying.
Definitely big packages. 344 grams of cocaine so far. If you take away a little bit for the packaging, etc., it's probably about 300 grams. 1 kilo nowadays is worth around £50,000. So he's probably carrying about £50,000 worth of drugs with him. These packages here, they're now seized from you, okay? And they're all yours, property and agreement.
The Dutchman pleaded guilty to smuggling cocaine and was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison. Further inquiries resulted in another arrest. Coming up, Officer Paul is proved right as the border agency apprehend 2 more cigarette smuggling accomplices.
If I tell it right, I'll give you £200 if you bring 2 suitcases of towels back through.
Coming up, in Bristol, one man's sweet talking gets him nowhere.
What's the name, mate?
It's sweet.
Yeah, it's cannabis, isn't it?
Back in Gatwick, Officer Paul has intercepted a surprisingly candid Geordie cigarette smuggler. Other officers attempt to track down the Somali recipient of the cigarettes, called Mohammed. They find another Geordie lad who also confesses to having smuggled cigarettes. He then tells the officers where they can find the elusive Mohammed.
We've come out looking for a Somalian, obviously, but my colleague stopped another lad who was a Geordie as well. In the end, he did cough to being met by Mohammed, who he said has just walked out to the car hole. So we've given chase and stopped the car here. It's got 3 cases full of cigarettes.
It's a job well done by the officers. But after seizing the illegal cigarettes, Mohammed, the ringleader of the operation, is free to go.
If I tell it right, I'll give you £200 if you bring 2 suitcases of towels back through. And
Okay.
it's been scared to lose my job.
Yeah.
I thought, well, may as well.
Did you not think of the consequences?
Not really, because I'm on the bones of my got them out.
Have you got wife and kids at home? How many kids have you got? 3? Okay.
The other man from Newcastle is led back inside the airport to be reunited with his friend.
In these circumstances, what we'd normally do is just seize the cigarettes and the suitcases from them, and it stays on file. So if they get stopped again, then they'll get arrested and prosecuted for this offence and the next one. So they're very lucky, because if they'd got caught the second time with this amount of cigarettes, you're looking at a jail sentence. So from their point of view, they're quite lucky. So were you getting the fight back, or was the other chap driving you back to Newcastle?
We got paid when we got out. But
You haven't been paid yet?
No, but probably not now.
With no money from the job, the lads now have another problem.
I was relying on the money from bringing the cigarettes through to get myself back home. Now I've got no money off cigarettes and no money to get myself home.
As they attempt to make the long journey up north, the 2 lads can rue the fact that their 40,000 cigarettes, with a street value of over £10,000, were intercepted.
Rather unlucky. In fact, my chap was particularly unlucky. He's only travelled abroad twice. 2 trips abroad and twice he's been caught. He said he's not going to travel abroad again. I don't blame him.
At Bristol Airport, a flight has just landed from Malaga in Spain. Border agency officers working in immigration are alerted to a couple who've been acting suspiciously. A woman dressed in black and a man in a stripy jumper head to baggage reclaim. Officer Brandon decides to follow them to monitor their behavior.
We've got 2 targets from Malaga. We pull them on, just quick chat and check what they've got. You never know.
Brandon moves into position, ready to intercept the couple as they pass through the customs channels.
Hello, they're both customs. Just come through, please. You are together, yeah? How long have you both been away?
Oh, holiday.
Yeah, how long?
2 weeks, 2 weeks.
Okay. And where have you travelled whilst you've been away?
Oh, just around Spain, just in the Artis Costa.
Right. You've stayed in one place, or?
Yeah, mountains, all around, holidays, just normal.
Okay. You ever been stopped by customs before?
No.
Okay. Bags packed by yourselves? Everything in the cases belong to yourselves? Right. Also, where certain things aren't allowed to be brought into the UK, drugs, weapons, obscene material. Yeah.
The man stares intently as his suitcase is searched. He then removes a mobile phone, which causes suspicion.
Right, can I? Sure, just part of the check, yeah? That's fine.
He gets his phone back, but seems a little agitated. Then a package is found, which might explain why.
What's the name, mate?
It's sweets. Sweets. All sweets. For kids.
Right, now you'll open it up because I can't see what's in there. Go on.
But Brandon's not falling for that. He opens the package to check the contents himself.
Yeah, it's the sweets, is it? Yeah. It's cannabis, isn't it? Herbal cannabis. You're not sure? You said you packed the case yourself?
Yeah. Put everything here.
All right. I say this time, all right, you're under arrest, all right? Right. Basically, you're both under arrest, you're both travelling together, okay? On suspicion of importing an illegal drug, controlled drug, all right? Now, you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention in question something that you later rely on in court, all right? Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand?
With both passengers under arrest, their cases continue to be searched. And it doesn't take long to find a number of identical packages.
How much you got in total, mate?
That's it, 4 packets.
There's no respite for officers in Gatwick as another Caribbean flight arrives from Jamaica. Suspicion was raised by a German woman who claimed to have lost the key to the padlock on her suitcase. After forcing the case open, Officer Paul discovered that the woman was carrying a significant amount of cannabis.
Okay, so if you just stand up for me, put your hands out, you put the sunglasses down.
She's arrested straight away and put in handcuffs before being escorted to the airport's custody suite for further questioning.
Presently, we have the 25-year-old German under arrest in the custody suite. So whilst she's getting her rights read to her, she's waiting for a solicitor to turn up. What we do is go through all the luggage. This is obviously where the drugs were found initially. And interestingly, she's in the top of the suitcase. She or whoever put the drugs in there has put a lot of foam around the outside of the case and around the edges of the case.
With the suitcase stuffed to the brim, it's a huge amount of cannabis for one person to be carrying.
These are just 2 or 3 kilo blocks of herbal cannabis. And very little else.
The cannabis is bagged up. Paul needs to weigh the drugs to find out the severity of the woman's crime.
So that's 18.15 kilos. The suitcase weighed 23 kilos, so nearly the whole suitcase was cannabis. That'd be worth between 40 and 50,000 pounds.
It's another excellent find by officers. For the German woman, it's been a highly risky gamble, that hasn't paid off.
A lot of them are single young females, and it doesn't surprise me anymore. We've had single young females, we've had old men of 70, we've had couples travelling together. You know, it's basically anybody that's short of money. Anyone that's desperate for money will do it for a couple of £1,000 or whatever else they've been promised.
The woman later pleaded guilty to smuggling cannabis and was sentenced to 9 months in prison. Back in Bristol, and with 4 packages of herbal cannabis found in a man's suitcase, the search now moves on to his wife. Almost immediately, Officer Brandon finds something hidden in the clothing. This time, he suspects it's cannabis resin. And as with the man's case, there's more than just one package. The drugs have been crudely concealed in clothing with little attempt to hide what's inside. As the last block is removed from the case, the couple know they've been caught red-handed.
There's 6 resin cannabis and 4 packages of herbal cannabis. I'm not sure weight at the moment. I understand what you're saying, but I can't at the moment, mate. All right.
The man should perhaps be more concerned about the illegal drugs found in his suitcase than having a cigarette. But tampering with the drug seizure will only get him in more trouble. As the couple are taken away for a full body search, officers are eager to find out how much they found.
2.68.
2.68 kilos of herbal cannabis and 5.48 kilos of cannabis resin adds up to a haul worth over £20,000. It's a huge amount of illegal drugs removed from the streets.
It has been adopted by a higher level team, if you like, within the department, and they usually only take on the larger cases. So we wait and see, but it is a substantial amount. There's no getting away from that.
It's been an excellent day for Brandon. Less so for the couple, who'll now be detained in custody. In court, the Bristol cannabis smugglers both pleaded guilty and are currently awaiting sentencing. In our ports and in our airports, the UK Border Agency is fighting a constant battle against smugglers.
I'm arresting you.
Don't get excited, man.
Coming up, a grandmother loses her cool after a suspect package is found in her laptop.
This is for Hillary.
Officers in Birmingham stub out a couple's plan to make a quick buck.
You wear the cigarette restrictions from Gran Canaria. I can tell by the face. Oh, dear me.
And high traces of cocaine are found in Gatwick.
The minute that you mentioned drugs, he was not happy at all.
So we're not transfer drugs, and push drugs.
At Gatwick Airport, a flight has just arrived from Antigua. Suitcases from the flight are unloaded and checked by sniffer dogs before passengers collect them in the terminal. One female passenger from the flight has raised suspicion. After passing through immigration, she was seen changing her clothes in the toilets. So UK Border Agency officer George has stopped her for questioning.
She actually changed outfits from when I saw her down by immigration when she was getting her passport swiped. When talking to her in the channels, she actually said that it's because she had a long journey and she had some soggy clothes which she needed to change out of. It's a suspicious activity. Normally people would just wait.
George carries out a routine search of the woman's bags.
When she went upstairs, I noticed that she had a carry-on holder, which sometimes they can actually sneak drugs through their holders.
The holdall and its contents are taken away to be x-rayed. Officers will be looking for any hidden concealment. George continues his search of the woman's suitcase.
Yeah, that's okay.
The holdall gets the all clear, but the woman's laptop looks decidedly suspicious.
On the X-ray, it's sort of uneven. As it goes in, it shows that there may be something inside. Yeah.
With concerns there may be drugs hidden in the laptop, it's taken away to a workshop to be properly assessed.
Okay, what's happened? Yeah, we've got a clear image and it shows.
It may seem brutal, but the only way to find out if it does contain anything illegal is to break it open. It looks like their hunch was right. Officers discover a package they suspect to be drugs, stuffed inside the laptop. A simple test will be able to confirm their suspicion. At Birmingham Airport, it's the start of a busy evening shift. A flight has just come in from Gran Canaria, and Officer Mike is scanning suitcases for excessive quantities of cigarettes.
We're X-raying the baggage through this felt scanner here, looking primarily for cigarettes or tobacco, but there is the chance we may find offensive weapons such as flick knives or throwing stars and things like that.
Passengers arriving back from Gran Canaria have a strict allowance of just 200 cigarettes.
Okay, that one's got some square shapes in that may indicate tobacco. We'll have another look at that one in a moment.
Having found a large quantity of cigarettes on the X-ray, Mike will be keen to ask the owner of the suitcases a few questions. A man in shorts and a blue jumper collects one of the bags from the luggage carousel, and as he proceeds through the Nothing to Declare channel, Mike steps in to intercept him.
Hello there guys, just step over this way a second. Just come over to the bench for me. Can we look at your passports please? Not travelling with anyone else? Not travelling with anyone else, no. Just been a family holiday, is it? Yeah, how long have you been away?
For days.
Yeah. Where to?
Gran Canaria.
Okay. Whose name was it booked in? Who actually did the booking?
This guy.
I thought you said you weren't with anyone else.
No, 3 of us. I didn't even have it.
Oh right, so you were travelling with these people, yeah?
Yeah, when you
right.
said 2 adults.
Well, no, I did say if you travel with anyone else, and you said no. But it's not a problem. Okay. Yeah. You know what? You can't bring in drugs, guns, knives, weapons, adhesive material, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. You wear the cigarette restrictions from Gran Canaria. I can tell by the face. Okay. Not sure. Okay. Something you want to tell me?
Yeah.
Cigarettes. Okay. How many have you got?
I genuinely don't know.
You don't know.
Genuinely.
Do you know how many you're allowed to have? No. 200. One sleeve, one packet. Have we gone bust?
200 sleeves, I think so.
200 sleeves. Okay, I guess we better have a look then, eh?
The man confesses to being way over his allowance.
Who are they for? Nope. Fair enough, I appreciate your honesty, mate. First time you've been caught? First time you've been caught? First time you've done it? Last time was what I've done.
First time or not, it's going to be an expensive lesson.
Oh, dear me.
With 3 suitcases stuffed to the brim, the man could feasibly be arrested. Back at Gatwick, officers are about to run tests on a package they suspect to be cocaine found in a woman's laptop.
We've pulled a package out from behind the screen. All he's doing now is splitting it to take a small sample, which we can test on this cocaine reagent here, which will give us an indication as to what type of drug it is.
The reagent will turn blue if the substance is cocaine.
It is there.
With a positive identification for cocaine, the news is now broken to the woman.
Carried out an examination of your laptop, and we have found a white substance hidden behind the screen. We've carried out a field test for cocaine, which has come up positive. So the time is 10:19. We're arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the importation of controlled drugs. You do not have to say anything. I'm not. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention blank question, something which you later rely on in court. Do you understand?
As she's led off for further questioning, officers take this opportunity to use the cocaine as a training aid for sniffer dogs.
We try and educate the dogs on live concealment because we can't replicate that. You know, they've spent a lot of effort to sort of hide that concealment in that laptop. We just can't do that with our training samples. So now the dogs, their sort of learning curves just shot right up.
With the game now well and truly up, the woman's attitude begins to change.
This is for Hillary.
She may be laughing now, but all that awaits her is an empty cell. Officers stay with the woman while her belongings are checked in, and she's informed of her rights.
I just need you to sign on that top line for me, please.
Meanwhile, George inspects the cocaine concealment further.
There's a lot of work which has gone into this. This would be actually considered a deep concealment. For a rudimentary way of trying to, I suppose, disguise it from an X-ray was by covering it in foil, but obviously it hasn't worked.
Right, just want to take your shoes off and put them here.
As the woman is checked into her cell, she starts to vent her frustration.
And if you do need us, in here. Just listen to me. Let us know if you need anything else.
Would you like to see the part of the block to do with the film, right? You want to see that part?
That's it. She's getting a bit upset now. When she was stopped, even when her computer was being x-rayed and everything, she was quite calm. But everyone's different. Everyone reacts in different ways, so there is no way you can spot a drug smuggler, is it? They come in all shapes and sizes.
One thing left to find out is the weight of the drugs.
So it's coming in at around about 530 grams. So depending on its purity, it could actually be quite substantial.
With an estimated value of £25,000, it's been a very successful day for the officers. Less so for the woman, who will have plenty of time to contemplate her actions. Back at Birmingham, officers are counting the massive haul of cigarettes a man has brought back from Gran Canaria.
You did realise that there is a limit when you'd actually become an arrestable offence. Okay, and you're going to be close. It depends on the value.
The man's friend who booked the tickets is also carrying 3 suitcases full of cigarettes. It's now a question of what penalty they face.
You have 36,000. So rather impressive, 35,600 over the limit, because obviously the baby's not entitled to any. She's not yet 17.
With the man's friend also carrying a further 36,000, the total haul is just under the amount where they would have been arrested.
That one is a warning letter. Now, obviously, as you know, you sailed very close to the wind this time, and there is no other sanction than seizure. Okay, there's no fine, there's no penalty, there's nothing else. The warning letter is there to say,
don't do it again.
Don't do it again, because next time it may be more serious. Okay.
It's a lucky escape for the 2 men, whose audacious attempt at smuggling cheap cigarettes would have netted them a profit of over £2,000 each.
Quite happy, did some checks on the people involved in both parties, and myself and my colleague were happy that they were first-time offenders from a customs point of view. Needless to say that the records will be maintained on them, and should they try and make another attempt, more punitive action may well be taken.
Coming up, a woman in Gatwick struggles to explain a high drug hit coming from her suitcase.
I've never even seen cocaine. I don't even know what it looks like.
Coming up, one man gets a bit economical with the truth in Birmingham.
No, you've never been arrested?
No.
Right. Well, our records show differently, sir.
At Gatwick Airport, a plane has just come in from Kingston in Jamaica, a known source area for illegal drugs. As the last of the passengers pass through the customs channels, officers stop a woman who's just arrived home in the UK. After a routine baggage search and an ion scan swab test of her suitcase, traces have been found for cocaine. Despite the woman's protest, her suitcase is taken away for further tests.
I've done an ion scan on the bag. I mean, she's adamant she hasn't come anywhere near drugs. She's adamant there's nothing in there, but I've got to find out why. I've got to read him for 2.55. What do you do for a living?
I was writing for a magazine out there.
What does your partner do?
He's a musician. Yeah, what is the situation?
Well, I'm still getting readings for cocaine. So you said you're travelling with your partner. I need to have a chat with him as well to see if we can find out why we are getting the readings.
The woman starts to become agitated with the suggestion that she's been involved with cocaine.
I'm not saying you've got it. All I'm saying is at the moment...
There's no actual cocaine.
Well, I haven't found any, so that's good. But I still need to find out why I am getting these readings. It might be that your boyfriend will be able to throw some light on it. I don't know until I've spoken to him.
But if he can't throw any light on it, what happens?
Well, at the moment, until I've spoken to him, I can't say what's going to happen.
Whilst waiting for the woman's boyfriend to arrive from immigration, officers become intrigued by some prescription drugs in the woman's hand luggage.
It's a strong medication. It certainly sounds it like that.
What if that could have set it off?
Pardon?
With questions to be answered, the woman's Rastafarian boyfriend is hurried through immigration. But he too is less than happy at the suggestion he's been involved with cocaine.
And it can happen from anything. You can have touched something that somebody else has touched.
No, I'm not touching nothing.
But you don't know that. You might have touched the... Listen to me. You might have touched the airlines.
Just relax, yeah.
You can pick up traces of drugs from anywhere.
Yeah.
You can pick them up from train
Well,
seats. You can pick them up
Yeah.
from airline seats. You can pick them up from being in nightclubs, pubs,
No,
bars,
we're not in
anywhere.
nightclub.
No, but this is what I'm saying to you. This is you can pick traces of drugs up, okay? And that can then contaminate the contents of your suitcase.
Okay, well-
So what we need to do is we need to make sure that's all.
I'm a reggae artist, you know.
Okay.
And my wife not.
With neither passenger offering an explanation, further searches will be conducted to get to the bottom of the cocaine traces. It's the middle of the day at Birmingham Airport. A flight is due to depart to Dubai, and officers are using sniffer dogs to detect passengers carrying any quantities of cash.
Well, under the Proceeds of Crime Act 2002, anybody who's carrying more than £1,000, we're entitled to ask them about the origins of the money and what they intend to do with it.
Hello, so you're carrying cash on your body today? Yeah. Good boy.
We're trying to intercept criminal money going out before it commits a crime, before they go out to buy drugs, before they go out to buy cigarettes. So we hit them in the pocket where it hurts. None of us like losing our money.
If passengers can't provide evidence where the cash has come from or what it's going to be used for, officers have the power to seize the money and investigate the individual further.
We're going to search your bags over here.
It's over here, yeah. Come this way.
A man waiting to board the flight to Dubai has been pulled over for questioning. He lives and works in the UK and claimed he was carrying just £1,000. On further questioning, he revealed he's actually carrying £4,000.
Did you pack this bag?
No pack.
Who packed the bag?
just your bag there?
You packed the bag.
Yeah,
Is everything in here, including the money, belongs to you?
Yes, belongs
Okay.
to me.
Just going to give your bag a quick check, sir, okay?
Yeah, it's
Do you have
okay.
any more money apart from the wallet?
Yes.
Any more money?
No, just...
You hold that money there,
Yeah.
okay?
With the flight about to board, officers will have just minutes to decide what to do with the man and his cash.
Is this your coat?
Yeah,
Any money in the coat?
No.
No money in the coat?
No, it's not.
No money in the coat?
Change.
Some change?
I think it's £100 something down there.
There may be some down there.
Yeah.
I know there is, because it's there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's. I think.
But you said there was no
You
money
said there
there,
was no money
sir.
there.
No, yes, I forgot because yes.
You forgot you
that
had-
one is someone.
You forgot you had money there.
Yeah, someone is £50. The cent is family.
It's very important you tell us about all the
Yeah,
money,
yeah.
sir. I said to you, can you tell me about
How much
all the
money
money?
you carry?
Then you remembered you had more money in this bag. Now you've remembered you have more money in the coat. Do you have any more cash on you anywhere? Any more on your person?
No, just this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
Right, in your wallet there, do you have your national insurance card?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, can I see it, please?
The man's dishonesty is ringing alarm bells.
Now, have you put your tax return in last year?
Last year?
Or this year?
Last year, no.
It's just
now.
a yes or no question. Did you put your tax return?
No, last year. It's in the pile.
Have you ever been arrested by the police or customs?
No.
No, never been in trouble?
Travelling
No, that's good, sir.
After confessing to not having completed a tax return, officers will conduct background checks on the passenger for further information.
I work in a long time.
As long as you've done everything right, everything will be fine. Can you take your money belt off just now, sir, and just show me all the money that's in the money belt you have?
Yes.
With the threat of losing his money, the passenger is starting to get upset with the interrogation. Reluctantly, he shows the contents of his money belt.
And in here, you say you have £3,000.
Yeah, £3,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the money here is not bank wrapped, sir. So is
Yeah.
it this money you've taken from your shop?
Let's shop, yeah. No, it's bank.
Take a seat down there, mate. You'll be all right.
As the last passengers board the flight, the suspected tax evader looks unlikely to be leaving the country with this cash. In Gatwick, the Rasta passenger is being decidedly candid.
So as a Rasta then, do you use cannabis?
Yeah, I use cannabis, but I don't have none neither. But when this one find traces of cannabis, because I smoke cannabis. But no other drugs, I don't deal with crack and cocaine.
That's fine.
We also ban it, and we have the
That's
money in the
absolutely
Royal Bank of
fine.
Scotland too, so we not transfer drugs and push drugs.
But you see, where you say that you're a reggae artist, okay? So where you do that, there could be people there who smoke drugs and smoke cocaine.
And I'm clean.
Yeah, but
Like
do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So you could have picked up traces of drugs from there. You wouldn't know that you'd done it.
It's very hard for to label my lady like that, you know? You understand?
Officer Hazel takes the man's suitcase to the X-ray, but her colleague Sam thinks she might have worked out what's causing the high traces of cocaine.
We just have to check your partner, but what I think is happening is because of the drugs you're taking, it's reacting for the cocaine test. And that's probably all it is.
I've never even seen cocaine. I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah, but that's what it is. I think that's what it is. It's because you've got really strong medication. And I think that's where it is, because you're taking it. When you sweat, it goes into your pores, and then it goes onto your clothing, then you're putting the clothing in your suitcase, and that's what's contaminating it.
Hazel's search of the man's suitcase comes back clear as well.
Okay. That's fine.
You okay, princess?
Yes.
Yeah, man, Chris, man, everything Chris.
Despite the questioning, the couple are happy to accept that it's been a necessary interrogation by the officers.
Thank you for being understanding. Sorry for delaying you. Okay? Right, bye-bye.
He was fine because I sprang him out the queue and he was absolutely fine. He was charming, chatty, and the minute that you mention drugs, cocaine specifically, he was not happy at all. He's Rastafarian, and to my understanding they use cannabis and don't have much to do with cocaine, but he got quite cross up here, but then he called me princess, so I figured it wasn't too bad. Nobody ever calls me princess.
I think they felt better when I said I think it's the medication.
Yeah.
In Birmingham, officers have just minutes to decide what to do with the man carrying over £4,000 in cash. Having lied about the amount of money he was carrying, background checks have been conducted, which have brought up more lies.
Do you know what being arrested is?
Not arrested.
No. You've never been arrested?
No.
Right. Well, our records show differently, sir. And our records also show you had goods seized at this airport as well. You said you'd never been in trouble with customs? No, you don't remember that either? No. OK, just wait for the other.
The PNC's got checks coming back for bringing in cigarettes into the Birmingham airport. 1,400, that was last year.
Despite his previous offences, today the main concern is the £4,000 in cash, which may be illegal income. Having failed to pay any taxes for the previous 2 years, officers decide to seize the money as they suspect him of tax evasion.
Listen, we haven't got time now to talk about the money, but you need to make a decision on whether you're going to travel or whether you're going to stay here to answer further questions in relation to the money and miss your flight. That's your decision. You're free to go, but the money's not free to go. You understand?
You can miss your flight and stay to speak with us, and you won't be flying today, or you can
flight today.
or you can go on the flight now but your money will be staying here and will go before the magistrate in 48 hours. So you have to make a decision, sir. Do you want to fly or do you want to stay?
Reluctantly, he hands over all of his cash.
I don't want to handle the cash.
His case will go to court, and he'll have the chance to appeal the seizure when he returns to the UK.
And that's the reasons why the money's been taken from you, OK? Thank you.
With just seconds to spare, the man and his wife catch their flight, minus their cash.
If we hadn't done the last check about what taxes he'd paid, what benefits he'd been claiming, he would have been on that flight with that money. Because we did the check, we found out he hadn't paid his taxes, which therefore is the proceed of crime. So therefore his money's gone.
The woman caught smuggling £25,000 worth of cocaine in her laptop was found guilty and sentenced to 5.5 years in prison. In our ports and in our airports, the UK Border Agency is fighting a constant battle against smugglers.
I'm arresting you. Oh, dear me.
Coming up, a man stopped in Dover gets nervous as his car's searched.
People try and look and try and act normally, but in fact it just doesn't look normal, does it?
A group in Birmingham with thousands of pounds are exposed as liars.
Well, you said you'd never been arrested as well. You've got motoring offences, burglary and theft, breach of community order, driving offences.
And one man's Ibiza trip sets alarm bells ringing.
Just went off the scale.
Dover, millions of passengers make the crossing to the UK from France. Border agency officers work tirelessly to check vehicles entering the country for illegal items. Today, a British passenger has just arrived home after driving back from a holiday in the south of Spain.
Are you travelling with anyone else at all? I went over there with my dad, but he just didn't drive back really. Okay. What's your dad doing now? He's still there, getting drunk. Okay. Do you have any cigarettes, any tobacco goods at all? 200 cigarettes.
Sniffer dog Cheska is brought in to assess the man's car for any cash or traces of drugs. Large sums of cash brought into the country is checked to see whether it has links to criminal activity.
Sorry, Amy, she's got €1,000 in the vehicle.
Right. Yes, please.
Okay, if you can just do that.
Yeah, just wait 1 second until I finish the car. Thank you.
Would that be everything else?
Okay, Mick, do you want to get that money out?
The man fetches an envelope of cash from the front of the car. Suspiciously, he also brings out some sugar in a plastic bag.
So it's €1,000, so more than 1,000 is father's asked me to bring it home. So how much is it then? €3,000. 3,000? Mm-hmm. Okay, and whose money is it? That's my father's. He thought he was going to need more than he did.
With the man's story starting to change, Cheska is brought in to do a thorough check inside the car.
Come here. Come here. Good girl.
And it doesn't take long for her to make an indication on something hidden deep within the boot. As the evidence starts to rack up, officers move in to examine what Cheska has found. Concealed in the side of the boot is an envelope containing a further £1,400 in cash.
It could be various reasons. It could be if he's got something else in the car. It might be money for bringing drugs in. He's put it in the car to try and hide it so it doesn't get picked up. Obviously, now we're going to have a little bit look further to see if we can find anything else in the car.
As officers continue with a thorough search, there are growing concerns about the man's erratic behaviour.
He's laughing. You can hear this tapping in the background. That's him throwing this bag of sugar. People try and look and try and act normally, but in fact it just doesn't look normal, does it? So his story, the way he's acting, the dog indication, the concealment in the car, it all points in a very, very strong direction of there's something concealed in the car.
It's early afternoon at Bristol Airport. A flight has just arrived from Malaga in Spain, and officers are x-raying bags to check for any illegal goods. One bag appears to be full of cigarettes. so a description is radioed through to the officers inside the terminal.
It's a black bulldog, and it's got Chelsea band over it.
Okay, I'll pick it up. Thank you.
The bag is placed back on the luggage carousel, and Officer Erica waits for the owner to pass through the customs channels.
Hi guys, are you travelling together? Yeah, can you just step this way a second? Where have you just arrived from? Malaga. And how long have you been away for?
4 days.
4 days? Was it holiday? Yeah. Okay. And I take it this is all your luggage?
Yeah.
You packed it all yourselves? Yeah. Fully aware of all the contents? Yeah. Okay. Did you purchase anything over there that you brought back with you? Any gifts for anyone? Cigarettes, tobacco, alcohol?
Kids and t-shirts.
Right. Okay. So no cigarettes and tobacco. Okay. And who are they for? Both of you? You both smoke, do you? Okay. And how much have you? You don't at the moment?
No, she's not. She's pregnant.
Oh right. Okay.
Ain't going back to Spain.
Right. Okay. So how much have you got?
How about I got?
How much? How many cigarettes, tobacco? How much have you got?
Quantities of cigarettes purchased in Spain are only allowed back into the UK if they're for personal use. The couple will need to convince Erica that all their tobacco products are for themselves. As the bags are checked, the packages just keep coming, raising the suspicion that the goods may not be for personal use.
How much did all of this cost you? So, you are the only one that smokes at the moment, yeah?
Basically, I smoke all these.
Yeah.
She smokes and takes. She's offered us some things, but I'm not going back abroad. So basically, I wanted to buy it.
Oh, right, okay. How long do you expect this to last you?
6 months.
Yeah? Do you normally bring stuff back when you go abroad, or?
If we go away to Spain, we do, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Have you got any rolling papers on you at all?
On me?
Yeah. No papers? No? Okay, you've got an open packet there, though, have you? Okay, if I asked you to roll a cigarette, would you be able to do that for me? Yeah? Okay, I'll just get some papers then.
If the passenger is unable to roll a convincing cigarette, it will support Erica's hunch that the goods aren't for personal use and they'll all be seized. Back in Dover, officers are still investigating a young man who's been found with £1,400 in cash hidden in the boot of a car. Swab tests are conducted on the steering wheel and on a bag of sugar the man has been clutching. Officers want to find out whether he's come into contact with any drugs.
So this will read different types of drugs, basically everything that is prohibited coming in. Nothing on the steering wheel, so this one's come off the bag of sugar. And there's no trace on either of it. So maybe it is just sugar. It's a bit worrying if he's lobbing half a kilo of coke around just in the car.
Despite no trace of drugs, officers are still concerned the man isn't telling the whole truth. The search of the car is taken to the next level.
Also, we're just putting up on the ramp now to look underneath, because when it's down the floor you can sort of look underneath, but you can't get a full picture, just to see if anything's been placed in the natural space underneath the car. Obviously you get like the sump guards. Obviously sometimes the more expensive cars have covers underneath, just make sure that it's not being utilised to smuggle drugs.
Further suspicious information comes to light. The car actually belongs to the man's godfather.
Can I pin you down more to what your godfather? Because this is his car that you're in. Yeah. Because this money's been found, which we'll talk about in a minute. What can you tell me about it? Is he your father's friend? Is he
It's just very, very from my father's best friend.
Is he retired?
I've no idea. I've barely even talked to the man.
Why is that? It's just Dad's car.
I don't know. I was just barely best friend, isn't it? I've just got nothing really in common with him, you know.
The man claims to know nothing about the cash found in the boot of his godfather's car. Despite a number of suspicious signs, with no concrete evidence, officers are forced to release the man with all of his cash.
The outcome's very frustrating because there's something not right there. The officers had a good look at the vehicle, and what more can they do, really? And that's the frustration.
Back at Bristol, A couple importing thousands of cigarettes are trying to convince officers they're for personal use and not illegal resale. The male passenger has been asked to roll a cigarette to establish whether he himself is a smoker.
Do you normally roll them yourself?
Yeah, but I'm not doing much
No, basically there's a guideline amount. We've got to satisfy ourselves that it's not for any other purpose than your own personal use.
After 2 attempts, the man has produced a pretty unconvincing rollie.
All right, I'll be back in a second then. That's his second attempt at a cigarette.
Okay. If that's what you
Yeah.
think, a rollie, it'll last them about 2 years.
Erica remains unhappy with the couple's story.
Right, based on the amount that you brought in, you're not over the guidelines, but I'm not entirely satisfied. Obviously, you're bringing in cigarettes, even though you're not going to be smoking them for a certain amount of months. Okay, what I want to do is just interview you both, okay, and ask you some more questions. You're not under arrest or anything like that, so you are free to leave, but obviously if you do go, the goods stay here. Oh, right. Okay. So would that be preferable?
Go away and come back, that'd be better.
Yeah?
Leave everything, or can you take all the facts with us or not?
No, you have to leave everything here. What we do is we detain it. I'll write out a detention notice for you. I'll just do the paperwork, okay? And then you can just sign it and we'll go from there.
Excellent.
Okay, yeah?
The passengers decide that their time is more precious than their €1,800 cargo and choose to leave the airport empty-handed.
It's hard to tell. That's why we carry out the interviews, go into a bit more detail. You didn't really do a successful attempt at rolling a cigarette, to be honest.
As the couple leave the airport, they're given 30 days in which to arrange the follow-up meeting. For now, their goods remain seized. Coming up, one man's shoes sets alarm bells ringing.
Trains all right? Looking up traces of cocaine.
Coming up, questions about large sums of money leave one passenger seeing red.
I am listening and you're talking different questions.
Calm down, madam.
All the time. I am calmed down.
At Gatwick Airport, holidaymakers have just returned to the UK from Ibiza. Young travellers visiting the party island are often stopped and checked for the presence of drugs on their return. The baggage of one such passenger has tested positive for the presence of cocaine and amphetamines.
Okay, so it's very high, it just went off the scale. Yeah. When I sort of asked him if there's likely to be anything there, he got very tetchy.
Yeah, he's been quite tetchy since.
Okay.
Due to the unusually high reading, Officer Andy decides to take the passenger for a strip search.
Right, sir, I'd like to have a word with you in a private office, please. Okay, if you'd like to come with me with your bags.
All right.
Thank you.
Can I just ask, do you know how long this is going to be?
Difficult to say at this time, okay? I'll explain everything when we get in there, yeah.
Andy's colleague Kathy has gained some important information about the passenger's health.
He's epileptic and he hasn't had any medication. He hasn't eaten or drunk for 2 days. So he's come back because he started having mini seizures.
Right.
So just be careful.
Yeah, okay. Can you let the senior officer know?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Right, my colleague's just said to me that you suffer from epilepsy. Is that right? Yeah. And are you actually okay at the moment, or?
Well, I've come back to get home and sort things out. I've been back for 2 days. I haven't got any medication right now.
Do you need medication urgently, or?
Not right now.
Okay, but for a few minutes, you're okay?
Yeah, no.
Despite his health issues, the passenger is happy to proceed with the search.
You've got the right to object, okay?
No, that's all right. I'll get over and done with.
Thanks.
As well as a strip search, the man's shoes are taken away to be swab tested. A drug hit from this test may suggest he's carrying packages inside his body. And with another extremely high trace, the man has more explaining to do.
Trains all right?
No. Looking up traces of cocaine. So have you been taking or using any controlled substance?
Why would your trainers be
Check, open them up.
No, it's not a case of that. It's like you might have stuff inside you.
Inside of me?
Yeah.
Do an X-ray on me.
An X-ray will be the quickest way to know if the man is telling the truth.
Okay, right. Because of that, okay, I've got to arrest you.
You can arrest me.
Okay, I'm arresting you on suspicion of the illegal importation of a controlled drug.
Okay.
I must caution you, you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
The man's fate now hangs on the results of the X-ray. Birmingham Airport flies to over 100 destinations across the world. In departures, Officer Dean and his sniffer dog Max are on the search for passengers with large sums of cash. Officers are permitted to question passengers carrying over €1,000 to ensure the cash has no criminal connections. Anything over €10,000 must be declared.
You got cash in your pocket there? You got cash on you?
Max has indicated on a group of passengers travelling to Pakistan, so they're taken aside for questioning.
Where are you guys travelling to today?
Sorry?
Where are you travelling to, all of you?
Islamabad.
Okay, how long are you going to Islamabad for?
For 1.5 months.
1.5 months, okay. As customs, we monitor the movement of cash through this airport. The dogs indicate that you're potentially carrying cash. How much cash are you guys carrying?
I have 2,000.
2,000?
Yeah.
You got?
2.5.
2.5, madam?
22.
And you, sir?
1,300.
1,300? Okay, what do you do for a living? What's your occupations? What do you...
Yeah, McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
And you, sir?
Me, I live in Holland. I work in Holland.
You work in Holland?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been in the UK from Holland? Just come around here, guys. Just come around here.
2-3 days before.
Okay, what's your occupation?
I work in the laundry.
Laundry?
Yeah.
Okay, can you just show me the money, guys? Everyone, please. Thank you.
The passengers are frustrated by the questioning and reluctantly hand over the cash in bundles of €50 notes.
All the money you're carrying is your own monies, yeah?
Holiday money. Because it's also Salab there, tsunami. I have to help people out.
Okay, that's fair enough.
It's my own country.
Okay, two of them are from this country. You expect them to be carrying sterling, or possibly Pakistani rupees, but they're all carrying euros. So my suspicion is, and they're all carrying 50s, and could it possibly be that the money belongs to one person and he's asking his friends to carry a bit of money each so it looks less conspicuous? So has any of you three been in trouble with the police or customs in this country?
Yeah, me. Somebody took somebody on my passport.
So somebody impersonated you on your passport?
Yeah.
So you committed an offence, have you been arrested? No. You're somebody else but using your passport.
Else, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys, just take a seat for 1 second. I'm just going to do some check. No, madam, you're fine. You take a seat as well. One of them does have history, unfortunately. He says somebody impersonated him using his passport, so he has a criminal offence. So we need to see if there's any other records linked to him or anything else.
As the officers run the necessary checks, the passengers will have to wait patiently to find out if their money will be seized. In Gatwick, background checks have been done on a passenger whose bags and shoes have given very high readings for cocaine. The man's history with drugs makes his story highly suspicious. The X-ray will confirm if he has packages inside him.
So if you want to bring your baggage just here. So what I'd like you to do is breathe in, hold your breath, and it will carry you along to the end. And we'll stop, okay? And be as still as you can. Breathe in. Very still. It's great. Yeah, come out. Thank you. So, yeah, you haven't got anything. I appreciate your cooperation. Thank you. So you're no longer under arrest. I don't know about nervous, but you seem quite edgy and trying to hurry me up. You know that. I mean, some passengers are like that anyway, but that's how he seemed. So all in all, I thought there was some reasonable grounds, you know, to search him. But anyway, I appreciate your cooperation.
With nothing found on the passenger, he's free to go.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Bye then. Bye.
Back in Birmingham, officers are running checks on 4 passengers who've been stopped carrying large sums of cash on their way to Pakistan. The information officers receive proves at least one of the men has been lying.
Assisting illegal entry into the UK. They said that somebody else had used his passport, so he's been locked up for 9 months for that. Anything else?
With a long list of convictions, there's even more suspicion about where the money has come from.
Should we just get back over and see what they say?
Aye, let's speak to him.
Come on.
I'll hang behind you. Well, you said you'd never been arrested as well. You've been motoring offences,
already told you I've been
burglary and
arrested,
theft, breach of community order, driving offences, no 6, no 8, no 9.
That's it.
But that doesn't
Offensive wearing a public
else
place,
from the
possession of cannabis. Why would you tell me you hadn't been arrested?
I've already told him. Ask your colleague.
Ashley's 3 times. Yeah.
He said to him. Then I told you. Yes.
You said to me somebody was impersonating you. That was the only thing you mentioned to me.
He said, have you ever been convicted with police? Did I say yes or no?
Yeah, you said yes.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. Like, I just asked you, has anybody ever been arrested? They all said
You are together. Yeah, but you are together. He said to him. One is asking.
One of you are
Calm
taking
down.
one statement, other one is taking other statement. Why don't you both work together? Simple as that.
Listen.
I am listening and you're talking different questions.
Calm down, madam.
Straight all the time. I am calmed down.
If I was going through an airport, my money was legitimate, I would say, this is where I got it from, this is how much it is, it's from this bank, if you want to check, like most people do with us. But when we come up against, a kind of brick wall with people not wanting to discuss things with us, we think maybe something's going on.
You know why we have money? Because I'm going to marry him. That's why we pay so much money.
Okay.
You can also look in the back, there are suits.
It would have helped if you'd mentioned that sooner.
Yeah, but you don't. Why you think that people are carrying
You did
money?
not ask that why you're carrying the money. You just asked from where did
Where
you
you
get
get
it,
the
why
money.
you got it.
You can
and all
see
that.
The story just keeps changing. They mention that they're going there for the tsunami. And one of the passengers now mentions that he's going to Pakistan for a wedding, his own wedding. So we have a few discrepancies into the intended use of the cash.
What we'll do just now is we'll make a phone call to their boss and see what he wants to do, okay?
With the departure time looming, a decision needs to be made soon if they're to make their flight.
I know that there's no direct link to a crime in it. It's dodgy, but it's not enough to, I think, to make the decision. Okay, boss, cheers, bye.
It was a very tricky one, and we don't, unfortunately, time is against us on this one. The guys who done all the checks were satisfied. Thank you for your patience. That's it, okay?
Sorry I've delayed you. No problem.
We're just doing our job, guys, that's all it is.
On this occasion, the 4 travellers are allowed to leave with all of their cash.
There just wasn't enough evidence to substantiate that cash or any criminal link to it. We weren't entirely satisfied that the cash belonged to each individual. We still believe the cash belonged to one person, but because of the time constraints and the fact that they're based in another European country, we just couldn't do any further checks. So we let them proceed with their journey.
The couple at Bristol Airport who had 30 days to arrange a follow-up meeting about their cigarettes and tobacco never got in touch. All of their goods were later destroyed. In our ports and in our airports, the UK Border Agency is fighting a constant battle against smugglers.
I'm arresting you. Oh, dear me.
Coming up, an angry man causes some excitement at Birmingham Airport.
It's like I say,
You guys getting excited for no reason, you know.
just calm
Don't
it.
get excited, man.
Don't look excited.
Could a woman from Trinidad and Tobago be carrying packages of drugs for a friend?
Has he forced you to bring anything here? Are you sure? Because now's the time to let me know.
And suspected cigarette smugglers from the Canary Islands play dumb to questioning in Bristol.
Where are you going back to now? Yeah, kind of guessed that a bit.
At Gatwick Airport, a flight has just touched down from Port of Spain in the Caribbean. UK Border Agency officers are out in force with the aid of drug detection dogs to stop illegal substances from being imported into the country.
Just lower your bag, please, for the dog.
While sniffer dogs assess the passenger's hand luggage, officers are on the lookout for behavioural indicators.
Hello, sir. Just a quick customs check. See your passport and ticket, please. Travelling with anybody else today? Thank you. What's the reason for your visit? Here on some other business too. What type of other business?
I'm auto mechanic.
Right.
So I look at sourcing foreign use parts.
Right.
Because there are certain cars in Trinidad that parts are hard to come by,
Yeah.
especially older European vehicles.
Sniffer dog Jessie continues to check passengers coming off the flight, but the officer hasn't finished with the car mechanic just yet.
Because you know it's a customs controlled area. Do you have anything to declare to customs today at all?
Well, I have my suitcase.
Yeah, you've got your suitcase as well.
Yes,
Yeah. Are these your bags?
Yeah.
Did you pack them yourself? So you're fully aware of the contents?
Yeah.
Has anybody asked you or forced you to bring anything into the country for them? No? You know it's legal to bring in drugs, weapons and things like that, yeah? Okay. And you know about your duty-free allowances?
Yeah.
Cigarettes and alcohol. Okay, so have a quick look through. Can you just take a step that way for me? Okay, thanks.
Officers have a very short window of opportunity to stop drug smugglers coming into the country. Intuition is vital in stopping suspicious passengers.
Feels like there's an area in here. I'm just going to cut into that. Okay? Yeah.
After tearing into the briefcase, it doesn't take long to make a significant discovery.
Just found what I suspect to be cocaine there. So I'm arresting you on suspicion of being involved in the importation of a controlled drug. So you don't have to say anything. It may harm your defence. If you don't mention when questioned, it's means later on in court. Anything you do say may be given as evidence. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Okay.
With the inner lining of the briefcase stuffed with a white powder, officers suspect they've intercepted a drug seizure worth thousands of pounds.
Just turn this one off.
The passenger will now be detained and taken to the custody suite for further questioning. At Birmingham Airport, one of the daily flights from Dubai has just landed. As passengers collect their luggage from the reclaim area, Officer John is observing two men travelling together who separated as they came through immigration.
Yeah, he just brought his stuff out. I thought he was on the moon.
It's suspicious behaviour, so John decides to stop the first of the passengers as he comes through the customs channels.
Hello, sir. Where have you arrived from today, please? Dubai. Could I just see your passport, please? Okay, you're travelling by yourself today?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Just been away for holiday?
Yeah, just 6 days.
How long were you away for?
6, 7 days, man.
6, 7 days?
Yeah.
Visiting family?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what family have you got?
Why ask? Oh, the could be stopped already, man.
Yeah, and I'm just, fortunately, this is the way we do things. Okay, hold on.
There's nothing in it, man.
No, don't open it yet.
Your time.
No, yeah, but I need to ask the questions first. So this is your bag, yeah?
Yeah, this is my bag.
Did you pack it yourself?
Yes.
Are you aware of the contents of the bag?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you carrying anything for anyone else?
No.
Okay. Are you aware that there's certain things you can't bring into England?
Yes.
Such as controlled drugs?
Yes, man.
Firearms?
Yes.
Weapons?
Firearm, you know. Are you mad?
Weapons? Indecent, obscene
Go
material?
on, man. Just open the bag, man. I want to go, man.
Listen, I'm asking the questions.
Oh,
okay.
man.
Are you aware of your allowances that you're allowed to bring in, such as cigarettes and alcohol?
Yes.
So do you have anything to declare to customs?
Nothing at all, man.
Nothing at
Do
all.
your thing, man.
Okay. The sooner I do this, the sooner we can all finish, okay?
John becomes concerned by the man's aggressive nature and his claims that he's travelling alone.
Hello.
You could just stay off your phone for me as well, please. Okay, you need to look what I'm doing and you need to cut the phone call, okay? You need to cut the phone call. You can't have phones in the area.
Cool, man. Relax, man. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm relaxed, okay? And the sooner we get this done, the sooner you can be on your way.
All right, man. Do your
okay?
thing, man. Do your thing.
Excellent.
I'm just wasting your time, man.
Not wasting anyone's time.
No, that's it. Put this on.
Yeah, put it on, help yourself.
As the man becomes more and more erratic, John suspects he may have something to hide.
There you go, look, I'm even folding them for you.
Who's asking you to fold them?
I know, I'm just trying to be pleasant, aren't
No one's asking
I?
you to
If
fold
I'm
them,
pleasant, you can be pleasant.
With every step of the search causing an argument, he may be here a long time.
Okay then. I'll just leave it there for you. You can do what you like with it.
At Gatwick, the man arrested on suspicion of smuggling cocaine in a briefcase has been brought over to the airport's custody suite. Having been caught red-handed, he started changing his story.
When we took him to his cell, we said that the satchel was handed to him by somebody else at the airport. He was asked to bring that through. So this isn't his case, but then he already told me that it was his earlier on. We made the arrest because we found a package inside, which is in the front here, the front wall, and in the back wall. Earlier on I cut into the front one. So what I'll do now is just remove some of that white powder with a knife. Just goes blue. And it's... Yep, there we go, so it's gone blue, so that's positive. That should be cocaine.
With their suspicions confirmed, the drugs in the briefcase will now be assessed and weighed before the passenger's story is formally investigated.
There was only 5 envelopes in there, and now I've taken those out, it's still quite heavy. You can feel that the walls are quite wide. There's no need for them to be that wide. You can feel that there's something in there, front and back. The back section is quite well done though. With regards to stitching, you can't really see anything wrong with the stitching. It's just literally how thick it is. The courier himself, I don't know how much money he would have got, maybe £1,000, £2,000 perhaps. But then the risk of getting caught, you know, losing out on all the money, it's quite high as well.
The briefcase was found to be carrying over 2.5 kilos of cocaine, with a value of more than £125,000. In Birmingham, Officer John is still searching the bags of the man who seems to have left his manners in Dubai.
What's in here? Nothing much. Tell me what it is.
It's flavour, man.
Flavoured.
Shisha, man.
Say again?
It's nothing. Open it, see for yourself.
The man is being deliberately vague about his tub containing shisha tobacco.
So what do you do? Do you eat it or drink it or? You chew it.
For flights outside the EU, passengers are allowed to carry just 250 grams of loose tobacco. The tub is 4 times the allowance.
So what is it like, sugar or tobacco?
But it's only one, isn't it? I'm allowed to carry one.
Yeah, I just wonder what else. I've never seen it before.
It's only one. I'm only carrying one.
Okay, I'm just going to leave it there for a second.
That's it, mate.
Nothing else?
No, nothing else.
You got anything in your pockets there?
No, you want to search? I've already been searched. You want to search me again?
No, all I was asking you about your jeans pockets, that's all.
But despite his assurances that he's carrying nothing else, a further item is found in his suitcase.
Hey, what's that in there?
That's probably girl's thing, isn't it? I brought the bag from a girl, innit? So it must be. What do you think it is?
I don't know, that's what I'm asking you.
With the man being evasive, John suspects he may have discovered an illegal substance.
Just don't say anything,
man,
okay?
That's Tampax, man. What the girls put on for their periods, man.
Okay, just like I say.
This guy's getting excited for no reason, you know.
Just calm
Don't
me.
get excited, man.
Look, am I getting
controlled drug?
Do I look excited?
Get out of here, man. Yeah, that's cocaine, isn't it?
That's what I can check, isn't it? That's what I can check, okay?
That's not cocaine.
So I'm just going to go and check. So you stay here with this officer. Okay, keep calm and we'll be back out.
A sanitary towel is taken away to see if it's concealing drugs. Meanwhile, officers have intercepted the passenger's suspected travelling companion and confiscated more than 12 kilograms of loose tobacco.
Do you still want to complain, yeah?
The results on the sanitary towel show no traces of drugs.
Don't give it to me, man. It's cocaine in it. You keep it for souvenir side.
No, but
Officers suspect the man's performance may have been an unsuccessful distraction tactic to prevent his travelling companion from being stopped.
Just the type of character he was. Some people just don't like dealing with officials, and he was one of those. There you go, sir.
Yeah, man.
Thanks very much. Have a nice day.
Coming up.
It's come up as positive for contact with cocaine.
Is there an unsuspecting drug mule at Gatwick?
And she said one comment that got me a bit interested. She said, "Oh God, I hope he hasn't put anything in my bag."
Coming up, smugglers go bust in Bristol.
All right, well, I'll tell you the allowance is 200 cigarettes.
200?
That's what you're allowed to bring back. So I take it that you've got in excess of your allowance?
Yeah, I have that.
Gatwick is the second largest airport in the UK, and numerous flights land from the Caribbean every day.
Lower this one a little bit. Thank you.
Officers are observing passengers from a Trinidad and Tobago flight, and sniffer dog Lucy is using her sensitive nose to search for traces of drugs. A lone female passenger has caught the eye of officers, so she's pulled over in the customs channels to answer a few questions about her visit to the Caribbean.
Do you know anybody out in Trinidad and Tobago? Do you have friends out there?
Well, this is a friend there in Tobago.
Oh, right, OK, so you stayed with him or her?
Yeah.
Is it a lady or a man?
It's a man.
A man, OK, right. OK, so you've come back. These are all your bags, are they? This and this here? You know everything that's in these bags. You pack them yourself? Do you know it's in...
But the woman starts to get upset because she's already had her bag searched in Trinidad and Tobago.
Did you pay for your trip yourself?
My friend paid.
Oh, your friend who lives out there, is it? OK.
And I don't think he's a drug dealer.
OK.
Officer John is immediately alarmed by the woman's last comment.
Do you use drugs or anything, or does your friend use drugs as far as you're aware?
What do you mean drugs?
Class A, what we call Class A, cocaine, heroin?
Never used any drugs.
That's great. Thank you for letting me know.
A swab test is carried out on the woman's suitcase.
OK, wait me one moment.
The test will show whether the woman has come into contact with any drugs on her visit to the Caribbean.
It's come up as positive for contact with cocaine. So I'll ask the lady now if she can explain why that would be in her case. I'll just ask her a few more questions now. OK, madam, that machine test has come up positive for contact with cocaine. Is there any reason, as I say, ask again, do you use cocaine or does your friend use cocaine as far as you're aware?
The woman gets tearful, which raises John's suspicions even further.
But you don't use it, you're certain about that? OK. Well, because of that, I means I do need to turn it out and have a quick look inside it, OK? Don't worry, don't get upset. Don't worry.
He put something in my bag.
Well, let's see. How long have you known your friend?
Not very long.
OK. And how do you know him? From
I met
where?
him in London. He lived in London and he just moved there with a business and he looks like he's really having a business and he's a respectable person. I don't know.
OK.
Clearly, the woman doesn't know her male friend very well. John has further doubts about her story.
Has he forced you to bring anything here?
No.
Are you sure? Because now's the time to let me know.
He hasn't given me anything. Like, he hasn't told me anything to carry with him for him.
Right, just have a quick scan through the X-ray. It's just at the end of the hall there, so if you just wait for me and have a look what I'm doing, you just stay there. She's tearful and she seems quite nervous. And she said one comment that got me a bit interested. She said, "Oh God, I hope he hasn't put anything in my bag," which is an odd thing for somebody to say.
The X-ray of the bag will show if the woman knows more than she's letting on. At Bristol Airport, holidaymakers have just arrived home from Fuerteventura. Although the Canary Islands are part of the European Union, passengers are strictly limited to bringing back no more than 200 cigarettes. A lone female passenger in a blue top has been observed acting nervously. Border agency officers decide to stop her as she passes through the customs channels.
Hello, madam. Where have you just come from?
Fuerteventura.
Fuerteventura. Just have a quick chat for a second. Are you travelling on your own?
Yes.
Yes, where are you going back to now? Is this all your luggage?
Yeah.
You packed it yourself?
Yeah.
Are you carrying anything for anybody else?
No.
No?
No.
OK, you come down the green, nothing to declare channel. Do you understand what your allowances are?
About 3 days, you know.
All right, well, I'll tell you the allowance is 200 cigarettes.
200?
That's what you're allowed to bring back.
I thought you couldn't go right back to Spain.
No. In Spain you can. If we were to ensure is not mainland Spain and is outside of the EU for tax purposes.
Right.
So you can only bring up 200 cigarettes or 250 grams of tobacco. So I take it that you've got in excess of your allowance?
Yeah, I have then, yeah.
Okay.
The woman admits exceeding her allowance, but Officer Mark wants to see how many cigarettes she's carrying.
So do you actually know how many cigarettes you have altogether, or are you not sure?
I don't know whether I bought some on the way out, because you can't always get still cut. And I'm not sure whether they've still got any of them left.
Well, anything you buy on its way, it loses its identity anyway, so it counts towards your allowance when you come back in again.
With over 800 cigarettes in her hand luggage, the woman's naivety towards the restrictions doesn't convince.
To be honest, it's the first time I've bought back any cigarettes for ages, you know? I think that's all I've got.
Have you got your passport on you there, please?
The suitcase is searched for any remaining cigarettes.
Thank you very much. If you just bear with me a second, I'm just going to do a couple of checks, okay? You can put the clothing back in if you want to, but not the cigarettes. I'll be back in a second.
Mark is pulled aside by a colleague searching another passenger. Suspiciously, her cigarettes are almost identical.
Odd. Where are you going back to now?
Home.
Yeah, kind of guessed that a bit. Where's home? Same area.
There's a whole crowd of women travelling together.
Oh,
this
right.
lady says the bag doesn't belong to her, but she's going to tell me that it doesn't. I think she's carrying the bag.
Probably, yeah. It's same area.
Officers are starting to think there's a link between the passengers, but will have to investigate further. In Gatwick, a woman's suitcase is being x-rayed after it tested positive for the presence of cocaine.
The case doesn't appear to have any concealments in it, it's very light.
Nothing is found hidden in the suitcase, but Officer John isn't finished with the woman yet.
How come my glasses are reading if there's anything in there?
Well, that's what's intrigued me. That's what's intrigued me.
The mystery behind the high cocaine trace means the search is taken to the next level.
Now, as I say, I've had a look in your bag. I'm satisfied there's nothing in there. I'm quite happy about that. But sometimes people do bring in drugs on their body or inside their body. And what I'd like to do is to do a search, check. My female colleague's going to do that, just to check to see that you're not carrying anything on your body. Because of the high reading and because of where you've come from. That's my concerns. OK?
Despite the woman's tears, she's led away to have a strip search.
Right, if you just want to take a seat for a minute, because I've just got some forms and stuff to fill out, all right?
The woman's shoes are also taken away to be swab tested. Positive traces of drugs found from this test often suggest that the passenger is carrying drugs inside their body.
That's quite a low reading for cocaine on the shoe, not anywhere near what was in the bag. And where she's come from, Trinidad and Tobago, then that maybe isn't an unreasonable background contamination.
Nothing is found during the strip search, and John is happy she's not carrying anything illegal.
Thank you very much for your patience with us, all right? We're happy there that you've got nothing, so you're free to go on your way as soon as you're ready. Thank you. The strip search is very invasive. We wouldn't do that for no reason whatsoever. That's quite a big thing, and obviously she was quite upset by that. We're not going to do a body scan unless it actually is justified, and in this instance that wasn't warranted, so we didn't proceed to that. And I believe that she didn't have any prohibited or restricted goods on her this morning.
Back in Bristol, an investigation is underway into whether two suspected cigarette smugglers are linked.
That lady down there,
Yeah.
is that bag that she's carrying yours?
No.
It's not yours?
No, it's not.
And you say you're travelling on your own,
Yeah,
are
I
you?
am. We know each other.
Oh, you do know her?
Well, by sight sort of thing, you know, not on holiday with her.
All right, then, if you just bear with me anyway, just a few checks to do.
Officer Mark goes to check whether the woman has a history of smuggling goods.
So it was last year, Cardiff Airport, and 2006, so it must have been again from...
The database reveals the woman has had goods seized on more than one occasion.
Have you ever had problems with customs or border controls before? You've had goods taken before? seized?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, where was that or when was that?
Yeah.
Here? What, in Bristol?
Yeah.
Here?
I think. I can't remember.
But you don't know how long ago?
No, I don't.
Roughly?
No, I don't, because I just haven't bought any duty-free back for a long time.
But you had good seized last year?
Last year?
Yeah, at Cardiff Airport. 2,000 cigarettes.
Was it only last year?
It was, yes.
Well,
And at the time you had 2,000 cigarettes seized, so you must have known what the allowances were. You must have
Yeah,
been
but
quite,
I've
why are you
told
taking
that-
my cigarettes from
I've
me?
been told that it's been, you know, that it's been changed now.
And who told you that?
Well, the people out there that we, you know, can buy cigarettes from in the shops.
You don't think they might have told you that to sort of sell you more
Yeah,
cigarettes,
probably,
perhaps?
probably.
I mean, I know it's a relatively small amount, but obviously you are 6 times
I know.
over the
Sorry.
limit. So.
Learn my lesson.
Whatever the truth, the woman is having her cigarettes seized yet again.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a huge amount of cigarettes, but at the end of the day, she's got 6 times what is the allowance, and she's a previous offender. Okay, those receipts from what I've had to take from you. And don't listen to what the people tell you in the shops. It's, all right then. Thank you for your time anyway. Cheerio. She knew the lady at the end down there, but said that she wasn't travelling with her. And it begs the question, are they all travelling together and do all the goods belong to one person? But it doesn't matter because we've seized the goods anyway.
The passenger found with 2.5 kilos of cocaine in his briefcase pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 7 years in prison. In our ports and in our airports, the UK Border Agency is fighting a constant battle against smugglers.
I'm arresting you.
Oh, dear me.
Coming up, in Gatwick, one man's nerves seem to give the game away.
So you have no problem doing an X-ray?
Have to do an X-ray?
Yeah.
On a flight from Malaga, one passenger seems to have forgotten who he's travelling with.
Travelling by yourself today? Just yourself, is it? Who's this? Oh.
And in Birmingham, Officer Mike pulls over one unhappy customer.
I've got to have a look.
I'm not happy what you're doing right now.
Well, that's fine. If you're not happy, sir.
Honestly.
If you're not happy,
Really
there's
not
a
happy.
complaints procedure.
At Gatwick Airport, a flight has just landed from Bridgetown in Barbados, a popular transit route for drug smugglers. The body language of one passenger has caught the eye of officers. He's been acting nervously since coming through immigration, so he's pulled over to answer a few questions.
How long ago did you book the trip?
Trip?
Yeah.
To Barbados?
Yeah.
I planned it about a month ago. I bought the ticket early last week. I'm off to travel.
So did you go from Canada to
Yeah,
Bridgetown,
Barbados.
Barbados?
Yeah, I went from there. But I figured it's better to go there first and go all the way back. It just makes sense.
A quick search of the man's suitcase has revealed nothing suspicious, but his animated and nervous behaviour is causing great concern.
Have you used any cocaine while you've been away?
No, I haven't.
So if we do an X-ray of you, there'll be no cocaine in your system. Then you have no packages.
No, there's no packages.
You sure? So you have no problem doing an X-ray?
Have to do an X-ray?
Yeah. You got a package of cocaine inside you?
I have no packages.
Are you sure about this?
Sure.
Yeah?
But the man's answers aren't convincing, and he started to sweat noticeably. A swab test of his suitcase is carried out for any traces of drugs. The machine gives an extremely high reading for the presence of cocaine. As the circumstances become even more suspicious, officers escort the man to a private interview room for questioning. Here they hope he may confess to being a drug smuggler.
You can't stop talking. You look as nervous as anything. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, go on.
I think you may have drugs inside you, or on your person. Okay?
He's basically done a couple of iron tracks and they've come up quite high. He suspects that it may be internal concealment. So he's just I think just arrested him now, and then I dare say, providing we get acceptance from him, that we'll body scan him just to check that he's clear.
Smugglers carrying packages internally often secrete traces of drugs through the sweat in their shoes. A swab test is conducted for any further hits of cocaine. And another very high reading for cocaine causes more concern, giving officers a good reason to put the passenger through a full-body X-ray. It's a busy morning at Bristol Airport. Passengers have arrived back from Malaga and are waiting in baggage reclaim for their luggage. Officers have been X-raying suitcases coming off the flight and have identified a number of bags carrying large quantities of tobacco. Officer Brandon spots the first bag being collected by a male passenger and moves into position to intercept him in the customs channels.
Hello there, sir. Customs. So you come through travelling by yourself today?
Yeah.
Just yourself, is it? Okay.
Tobacco products purchased in Spain are only allowed to enter the UK if they're for personal use.
Have you ever been stopped by customs before? No. Have you purchased any excise goods whilst you've been away? Cigarettes, tobacco, anything like that? Okay. How much tobacco have you got?
As the passenger struggles with the padlock on his bag, Officer Erica has been looking at the passenger list for the flight.
Are you travelling with anyone else at all? Or? No?
But she knows this isn't true. The man is travelling with his wife and he faces an uncomfortable reunion.
Excuse me, madam, have you got your passport at all?
Me. Husband's going.
Your husband's got
Yeah.
it? So you're travelling with your husband?
Yeah.
Right, okay, if you can step with us, we've just pulled him in a second.
Who's your tobacco for then?
I smoke to myself.
Is that your husband there?
Two lads, they smoke as well.
Right.
Right, okay. When did you last travel abroad?
4 weeks ago.
Who's this?
My wife's there.
Oh, how did you manage to travel alone then and all of a sudden your wife's here? Did you not know you were both flying at the same time?
No, it was like that though. We stopped him.
Right.
But I asked you again, and you still said you weren't travelling with anyone.
Right, bear me a moment, okay?
Brandon decides to run some background checks. The man has been stopped by customs in the past, meaning he's lied more than once.
He doesn't know the combination for his case. He said he's not been stopped by customs on a previous occasion, which obviously is a lie again. There's got to be reasons. There's casting a lot of doubt in my mind. We'll have a look what he's got in there, and we'll take things from there. Oh, you got it off, did you?
The man must prove his tobacco products are for personal use. But given he's lied twice already, Brandon is less inclined to believe anything he has to say.
What quantity of goods do you have there?
If they fail to convince officers that the tobacco is only for themselves, they face having all of their goods seized. In Gatwick, officers are about to X-ray a nervous Canadian man who they suspect is trying to smuggle drugs inside his body. A swab test has been conducted on the passenger's shoes, and due to the extremely high reading for cocaine, he's been led away for a full-body X-ray. This isn't helping his nervous behaviour.
Right.
Is this a consent?
Yeah, because you're taking our X-ray.
Yeah.
We need your consent to say that you'll do it for us.
Well, I'm not going to give you my consent. I think this is a load of crap.
Okay, well what happens then if you don't do the X-ray? You stay with us until you've produced 2 clear bowel movements, however long that may take.
If you don't want to, that's fine. We'll just take you downstairs, get you custodised, put you in a cell in a white suit, and we'll wait there till you've moved your bowels twice to show there's no packages there. Or we can do it now by doing an X-ray. You're cool.
The man's options are limited. They'll find out one way or another whether he swallowed any drugs.
Right, now what you need to do, this conveyor belt's going to move, yeah? You're going to stand on it. You need to stand on it as I'm standing on it, nice and straight, yeah? Arms by his side, nice and still. And breathe out slowly, yeah? Until your lungs are empty and hold.
With the net closing in, officers try to get him to confess.
How many packages you got? What? Cocaine inside you? No. No?
Incredibly, he's still denying it. But the X-ray images confirm their suspicions that he's stuffed with packages. The man is led away to the airport's custody suite.
Let us know immediately if you feel unwell. Hello.
He kept pleading his innocence, but after a week and a half in custody, he eventually went to the toilet and produced 36 packages of cocaine with a street value of over £30,000. Back at Bristol, an elderly couple are trying to prove that a large quantity of cigarettes and tobacco purchased in Spain is for their personal use only and not illegal resale.
So no papers, no filters, no smoking tin? Nothing? What about yourself? Do you have anything like that? You just smoke cigarettes, okay? With the fingers, and there's no odour, no tobacco odour from them. I'm quite convinced that they're non-smokers. Do you want to come and take
The officers decide to take the couple away for further questioning.
No, you stay separate. I'll get you a seat now.
They'll be interviewed separately to see if their stories are the same.
If they're telling lies, then it's very rare that they'll have the same story, unless they're well rehearsed. But I doubt that is the case.
During the interviews, it's revealed that the couple regularly buy tobacco abroad for themselves and their sons.
How does that work? Do they tell you how much they want, or do you charge them for the quantity you give them when you get back?
I pay the bill you send me and we'll split it 3 ways, whatever it was.
But receiving money for goods is an offence, even if it's from family members.
Bought him for Christmas presents mostly, the children, grandchildren.
So why did you lie about travelling with your wife?
As I say, it was just news, I don't know why I said it.
As Brandon and Erica compare notes, there's some inconsistencies in their stories.
His wife basically is giving a different story, painting a different picture really of where the goods are going and how much they've brought back on a previous occasion. He's also receiving money for 2/3 of the goods. I believe there's enough grounds to make a sort of viable seizure. I'm not satisfied the goods are for yourselves, and there's a commercial element involved, all right? And the goods will be seized from you on this occasion.
Reluctantly, the couple sign papers to confirm that their tobacco is all being seized. They'll have 30 days in which to appeal the seizure, but for now, they're leaving empty-handed. Coming up, one man stopped at Gatwick yet again.
Yeah, I've stopped him before. And when we did the iron track, it gave us the highest I've ever seen.
Coming up, in Birmingham, Officer Mike gets some job advice.
I don't tell you what to do for your job, you please don't tell me what to do for mine, and then we'll get on just fine, won't we?
At Gatwick Airport, a plane has just touched down from Amsterdam, and border agency officers are observing passengers as they disembark the flight. In immigration control, officers have been alerted to a Dutchman entering the country.
What you can do, just go around to the bench here, just have a quick look inside your bag.
It seems this is not the first time the man has been stopped.
We saw this guy a couple of months ago. He's a frequent traveller to the UK. When he's intercepted, he comes up with a different reason for travel each time. He comes up with a different background story each time. For some reason, he doesn't want to tell us exactly what he's doing.
Okay, now you told me that you wanted to come and live in the UK.
Yeah.
Yes? Is that what your trip is all about? You're coming over here?
Yeah, because I want to find that out if I like it, but I want to find that out if I really like it to stay here. You know?
Okay, but you're not staying very long to try and find out, you know, been here.
Yeah, because I come here a couple of times.
So you don't have much baggage with you?
No. I don't come for all week.
But there's good reason to be suspicious.
I've stopped him before, and he had a laptop case. And when we did the iron track on the laptop case, it gave us the highest I've ever seen. And he was very inconsistent with his story at the time. So we body scanned him, we X-rayed him at the hospital. That was all negative, and we had nowhere else to go. We had to let him go.
Having found massively high traces of drugs on the passenger in the past, officers must again rule out the possibility that he may be carrying drugs this time.
You know, I was asking you upstairs about the stamps you have in here for the Dutch Antilles that you went to earlier in the year. You told me you went there on vacation. Did you go on vacation with your wife and children to the Dutch Antilles? Where did you stay?
Family. My family.
You've got family out there. You're a busy person. When do you find time to work? Just take a seat. I'll be back in a moment.
With large quantities of drugs entering the UK from South America and the Caribbean, Sarah needs to make sure his links with the Dutch Antilles are legitimate.
From what I can make out, he actually missed the flight yesterday, so he's come in today. He's going home again tonight. He's saying that he just wants to come over here to see what it's like to live in the UK. But I'm not really very happy with what he's telling me. I'm not really very happy with, you know, he says he works in a shop, in a magazine section of a shop out the back. He doesn't actually sell magazines to the public. But his clothing is quite expensive, and I don't know, something's not hanging together right here.
It's the busiest part of the day at Birmingham Airport, as a number of flights arrive during the lunchtime rush hour. As passengers head for the exit, officers spot a lone male passenger who's been identified as starting his journey in Morocco. Officer Mike pulls him over to ask a few questions.
Are you French, English, Moroccan? English.
British.
Yeah, obviously you can't say English anymore. So where's Kenitra? Is that Morocco? Yeah. Is that the ancestral? How long you been out there?
10 days.
Was that holiday? Yeah. And who were you visiting?
What?
Who were you visiting?
From the man's demeanour, it seems he's less than happy about being stopped.
Parents, yeah. So what do you do in the UK?
Security.
Yeah, what sort of security? Building security, door security?
Not door security, it's obviously retail security. No.
Retail security. Yeah. Okay. Just bear with me, I'm going to have a quick look through your bag. If you pop it on there for me, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, you've got to go somewhere, sir, but we'll do this as quick as we can. That's what you believe.
The man's anger at being stopped creates more suspicion that he has something to hide.
So where are you off to then? Where are you off to? Where are you off to now? Sorry? You just want to go home? Yeah. Where's home? Sorry?
Skates. If you open it, put it again, please, like the same.
Well, I'll do my best, but you know, if you're not happy the way we do it, then you can sort it out for yourself, can't you?
What do you mean I sort out myself?
Well, I'll open it the best that I can. If you want to, do you want to unwrap it for me?
You know why? Listen to me. Listen to me.
Do you want to unwrap it so you can wrap it back up how you want, or do you want me to just cut it open? I'm happy for you to unwrap it.
You can pray and you can use machines or
No,
whatever.
that's.
I'm
going to have a look.
I'm not happy what you're doing right now.
Well, that's fine. If you're not happy, sir.
Honestly.
If you're not happy,
Really
there's
not
a
happy.
complaints procedure you can follow after we've done
Yeah,
this.
well, I need to talk to somebody you see.
Well, no. At the moment, we're going to look in this box, all right? Now, do you want me to cut it
I
open?
don't want the camera, please. All right. Take it the pieces, say it's mistakes.
Yeah, well,
the machine. You don't have to open it.
listen. I don't tell you what to do for your job. You please don't tell me what to do for mine, and then we'll get on just fine, won't we?
With the man's attitude, it's going to take Mike a while to properly search his bags. In Gatwick, officers are still probing the Dutchman with an inconsistent story. His passport shows he's made multiple trips in a short period of time, and they don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
I'm not happy, but at the same time I can't persecute the guy.
No, you can't.
A swab test is conducted on his bag for any traces of drugs.
So, just going to see if I can get any readings from the bag here.
And a positive reading for cocaine leaves Officer Sarah with yet more questions.
Have you got a hit off his bag?
Yes.
How high?
1.96.
No, not as high as last time.
Oh, a bit high.
What did you say he does for a job?
He works in a magazine section behind a shop.
See, last time he said he was involved in his family gold business.
Oh, really? No, there's been no mention of the family gold business. I'll go and investigate further about his job. How long have you worked in this warehouse stroke shop?
5 years. Also for somebody home, like when you have a house, painting, put the floor.
Oh, okay.
The inconsistent job history, along with the lack of evidence, is beginning to frustrate.
I don't want to persecute the guy, but at the same time, there is a lot of stuff that's not adding up.
What we will do is search him to see if we can find anything on his person, any papers, large sums of cash, anything at all, which could indicate the real reason for his travel to the UK, which obviously he doesn't want to tell us about.
I'm really not very happy about some of the things that you've said to me today. You're not here for very long. So for that reason, I've had a search authorised. So some male officers here are going to take you into the room away from the public view and they'll just give you a rub-down search, okay?
Whilst hoping they may find some concrete evidence to explain the man's suspicious story, it doesn't take long to make a decision.
Okay.
Nothing found means he's free to go.
If you just grab your bag
Yeah.
and then just make your way through to the exit. Good luck to you in finding a job and working out where you want to live. Okay, thank you very much for your time.
It's an inexplicable outcome for the officers.
His story, his reasons for being here are unbelievably vague. Doesn't really all add up. Who knows?
In Birmingham, Officer Mike is still searching the bags of the disgruntled passenger who started his journey in Morocco.
What's this?
This is drops.
Sorry?
Check.
Will you tell me what it is before I get there? You tell me you know what's in the bag.
It's kind of sweets.
What's that one do?
Huh?
What's that for?
This?
Yeah.
Medication.
For what?
For headache.
For a headache?
Someone pop up with this drink.
The man's nonchalant answers are proving just as much of a headache for Mike.
What's that off? What is it? It's your nationality, is it? Who's the other fella? You don't know.
Having found nothing of significance in the man's bag, his shoes are swab tested for any traces of drugs.
I'll just swab the shoes feel a little heavy, and I'll just swab the inside of them to see if we've got a trace reading. As you can see, there's a small trace reading for heroin. I'm just going to pop them through the X-ray now.
Heroin use is widespread in Morocco, and Mike is concerned that the passenger may be concealing the drug in his shoes.
Now to be honest, that looks exactly what I'd expect to see. Looks fine. Okay, so thanks for your patience. You can start putting that back if you want to. Well, you can repack it if you want to. I mean, the legal obligation is passengers are legally obliged to open and repack their baggage when requested to do so. Just speeds things up for you. I know you're in a rush.
The man is clearly unhappy about the whole incident. Searching passengers and their luggage is part and parcel of the UK Border Agency's role. It's a necessary process, and for the officers, courtesy goes a long way.
There you go. Thanks for your time and your patience. We're very well aware that the majority of people are perfectly innocent travellers going about their normal day-to-day life. The guilty don't wear labels, and it can make our job a lot easier if people are compliant and pleasant with us rather than perhaps trying to see things that aren't there.
The nervous Canadian man who swallowed 36 packages of cocaine pleaded guilty to smuggling drugs and was sentenced to 3 years in prison.